Hi there, welcome to Lesson 2. Lesson 2 is keep the parts of the message close together. Now, in Lesson 1, we saw how lawyers include extra information in their sentences. This is because lawyers think that all of this extra information is really important, and so instead of putting that information in different sentences, which is a good idea, they try to take all that information and squeeze it into one sentence. So you have one sentence with 50, 60, 70 words with lots of clauses, and it's really, really difficult to understand. It would be much easier if lawyers used different sentences. The problems for the reader is that the reader might not see the message the lawyer wants to communicate. So somewhere in that text there is an important message, but there is so much extra information that the reader cannot see that main message. As a matter of fact, the reader might see a different message, or the reader might see a part of the sentence which isn't important and think that that is the important part of the sentence. So long sentences with lots of extra information confuse the reader. Have a look at this message. Our meeting, which was rescheduled due to cancellation to discuss in precise detail as to what will be the next steps, the merger, and all associated other legal issues connected thereto, will take place upon acceptance by all parties to which this message has been addressed tomorrow at 5 p.m. There is lots and lots of information in here. What is the main message? Well, we can identify the main message like this. Our meeting to discuss the merger will take place tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's the main message, but it's really difficult to see that message with all of that extra unnecessary information. It's also important to count the words between all of the parts of that main message. So we've got our meeting, 6 words later, to discuss, 11 words later, the merger, 8 words later, will take place, and then 12 words later, tomorrow at 5 p.m. It's really easy for the reader to get lost in that text, and you don't want your reader to get lost. You want your reader to understand your message exactly as you want the message to be understood. So that means we've got to keep the parts of your message close together. If you have a look at this example, it is a lot easier to understand. Our meeting to discuss the merger will take place tomorrow at 5 p.m. We have to discuss the next steps and all related legal issues. The meeting will only take place if everyone can attend. Here we have 3 short sentences. All of the information in those sentences is important, but it's written in a way which is easy for the reader to read. There is no way that the reader can get confused or lost or not see an important message. And when we do this, we can remove unimportant information. So, which was rescheduled due to cancellation? Not important. In precise detail? Not important. Sometimes lawyers like including unnecessary information. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is think, what is your main message? And as soon as you've thought of your main message, write down that simple message. Once you've written it down, then think about other information that you might need. Everything else that might be important to that main message, and then write that information in following sentences. That way you are writing professional, business-like, legal writing, and your reader will understand exactly what you're trying to say, and you will avoid the problem of including far too much unnecessary information and put that in one long sentence that the reader might not read. Okay, now it's time to put your skills to the test. For these questions, I would like you to read the sentences below and try to identify the main message in each sentence. Redraft or rewrite that message and put the main message in the first sentence. Then put all other information, if you think it's important, in other sentences. If you have a look at the example that we had a look at in this lesson, you can see that we took that one huge, long, difficult to read sentence and we've divided it into 3 punchy, powerful, short sentences which are easier to read. So try the questions below and good luck.